Hey guys, Introspection here, and I'm back again with another video. So today I wanted to do one of these reaction type videos. I mean, I've already seen this video, but I really just wanted to make some commentary on it. I know that the YouTube algorithm does not like it when I do reaction videos, except for the first one, which is weird, but that's besides the point. The point is that I like the overall idea of a lot of these videos. Not all of them, but a lot of them I really do like. I like the quality of the videos. I like the message that a lot of them are trying to portray. And I've done a reaction video to one of Dhar Mann's videos before, and I pointed out how the overall message was really good. Basically what most people would agree with when they see the video. The overall message was good. The quality of the video, at least in my personal opinion, was really good. It was just these key points, these minor little tweaks here and there that just killed it. And they were very small, tiny things. But it was one of those situations where those key small things either made or broke a video, no matter how good the rest of the video. Again, it wasn't terrible or anything. It was still enjoyable to watch. It's just that tweaking those small little things would make it worlds better, in my opinion. And odds are, because that video did terribly, even in comparison to the rest of my videos, that Dhar Mann, or whoever makes the videos, if it's not Dhar Mann, I have no idea how he does things, probably never saw that video. Almost no one saw that video. But I like to pretend that there's an off chance that maybe whoever's in charge of making the videos saw my video and tweaked future videos. Realistically, there's no way that happened. There's no way that happened. But I like to dream. In any case, I think that this video fixed a lot of the things I commented in that other video, and that's more than likely because of other more reputable and actually known basically people with more than like 2 subscribers making probably similar comments, probably in a much more sophisticated and understandable manner. But regardless, I like doing reaction videos to this, so we're gonna do it. If nothing else, I'll at least have fun, and I hope you guys will enjoy it too.
So that's why you should vote for me, Princess Paula, to be class president of Lincoln Middle School. Because I'm popular, and I'm pretty.
Okay, thank you, Paula. Next we're going to hear from... Sorry, guys, I do have to take this. Stevie, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Steven.
Can you hurry it up? Are you really that dumb?
Hey, that's not nice. You shouldn't call her...
Be quiet, Four Eyes. I wasn't talking to you.
Okay, sorry, guys.
Okay, so right there, they actually did a lot of stuff. Just in that first 40 seconds, I saw a lot of adjustments and changes in comparison to the last video I watched. So, like, for instance, the first thing that happened is that the bullying started as soon as the teacher left the room. And that is what will happen a lot of the time, right? The bullying will happen when there's not adult supervision, and it's not inherently because the adult's being neglectful or stupid. It's just that there's a human limit to how much an adult can oversee things, which is why it's so important that adults take it seriously when kids come with concerns about stuff. But it's a somewhat, if not really realistic situation to what would happen in the real world. As opposed to, if you watch the last video I commented on, when they were doing the insults and stuff, it was a lot less realistic because it was like in this between area where she was trying to hide it, but also trying to make it seem obvious, and they were just kind of doing 2 completely contradictory things, which really didn't make much sense at all. But here, this makes complete sense. And then on top of that, the insults that she's throwing, as cliche as it started, the insults that she's throwing do sound like things that a bully would say about somebody stuttering. That's exactly what kind of insults would be thrown at a kid like this, unfortunately.
Stephen, go ahead and tell us why everybody should vote for you.
You should vote for me because I want to end...
It's bullying, for Christ's
but if you want to hear the rest of Steven's speech and you want to cast your vote, we're doing that in the cafeteria.
Vote for me, please.
Hey, I'm Talon, and this is Rumpus.
Curse you, ads! Why?
Let's go. First, go to
Hang on.
Shopify.com.
Hey,
No. I'd help you pick them up, but I wouldn't want my crown to fall off. And besides, it's not like you're gonna win anyway.
stop it, Paula. It's not nice to be.
Oh gosh, here we go again. How are you going to beat me when you can't even say a simple word, Stuttering Steven? That's for sure his new nickname. It's going to be fun watching you struggle during your speech later. Come on, let's go.
So I also pointed out that in the other video, the kids were kind of uncomfortable with the acting, which is not a knock on them. It just seems like they were a little new to it. But here, I think both, I mean, obviously he's acting nervous because that's what his character, and upset because that's what his character is supposed to do. But here, all of the children actors thus far are very comfortable in their roles. Like, even the bully here. I know that I'm sure a lot of people will say, oh, that's a cliche, you know, school bully type deal. But, I mean, it's working, right? Most of us, even if we're criticizing the acting, at this point, we hate this character, legitimately. Like, we're, like, a bunch of us are like, somebody do something about this kid. I mean, come on. So, it's working. You might say, yeah, it's like an old high school or middle school musical movie type bully, and I guess it kind of is. But it's working. Like, she is pulling off a pretty decent character, and it's convincing me to dislike her, which is exactly what she's supposed to do. She is the villain in the video, and she's pulling it off quite well, in my opinion. See, again, the bullying happens when the adult is not here. Now, granted, she's taking a few shots at him while the adults are around, and the adults are responding appropriately. But the really bad and, like, hurtful stuff, like her extreme tactics, only seem to happen, unless I miss something, while the adult's not in the room. Which is it's a very nice touch that they're paying a little bit more attention to the sociological detail, in my opinion.
No. Maybe I should have run for president.
Don't say that. Let me ask you something. Is becoming class president important to you?
Yes. Maybe one day I can become the president of the United States, just like Joe Biden. That's
Okay, so he might not be the president of where I am, but I could just see, like, the comment section for this. Just go. Actually, I should probably take a look at the comment section, but I could just see people, like, the comments that could come out, like, oh, I mean, some of them are probably not wrong, I'm sure. Like, you know, this kid being smarter than... I mean, in all honesty, he does seem like a smart kid. I wouldn't be surprised if he was smarter than Biden, just from an objective standpoint. But I'm just thinking, like, oh my gosh, the comment section here.
that's my dream.
Well, I think you make a fantastic president. I'd vote for you.
Thanks. Hey!
I'm surprised you don't stutter when you say, hey.
Leave me alone, Paula.
Hey everyone, who do I remind you of? Hi everyone, my name's Stuttering Steven, and I'm not very smart. Don't do that. It's not nice to make fun of people, Paula. You see, hey, why would you do that? Because you deserved it. Now be quiet before I start making fun of your ugly jacket. Exactly. Anyways, y'all should come to the cafeteria to vote for me. Unless, well, you'd rather have Stuttering Steven
Okay, I know this is like the third time I say it, but again, no adult supervision. These are like the worst of her actions because there's no adult supervision. It's a nice touch. And I also want to say, let's see here.
Exactly. Anyways,
Nope. It's not cool. There we go. I want to make the comment, girl, you are rocking the jacket, okay? That is a cool jacket. I don't know how anybody could find it in themselves to, like, that is a legitimately cool jacket. I'm just trying, like, they should have found an uglier jacket for this scene. And that doesn't really matter. The point is that she has a jacket and it's being made fun of because it's a little different. But, I'm just saying, I like the jacket.
been president of the school. Stuttering Steven, stuttering Steven, stuttering Steven, stuttering Steven, stuttering Steven.
Steven, hey. What's wrong? Why are you crying?
I can't do this. They're all calling me stuttering Steven and saying I'm not smart.
Who is? Look, listen to those guys, okay? Just because you have a stutter doesn't mean you're not smart.
What if they're right? What if I am dumb? I'm never going to be president.
You want to know something?
Okay, so usually at this point, what would happen is that they say the words, I see, and then they cut to a scene of just, like, to be a little harsh, dry exposition. And honestly, that was probably, like, one of the main things. I don't know how I didn't realize it when I was reacting to the last video. I don't think I mentioned it. But it was, like, the main thing. Just killing a lot of the videos. And I don't know if all of the new videos do this, to be totally honest with you. Because this is kind of like the only new video I've seen since then. But a lot of the videos I watched back a couple months ago, all of them did that. I see, and then just exposition. And there's nothing wrong with the word I see, or the words I see. That in itself is not bad. The problem is when you have nothing else to use to transition. Especially when you have, like, 2 points in the 2 or 3 points. Some of the videos would have, like, 2 or 3 points where they'd say, I see, and then transition into the exposition. And it was just it was forced, if that makes any sense. And I think that was, like, one of the main things, more than anything else. Again, I don't know how I didn't realize it when I was watching the video, but more than anything else, that would kill a lot of the momentum that the Dhar Mann videos would go. Like, they'd start to build up a little bit of momentum, but then when it just hits there, it just... But watch this.
When I was younger, I had a stutter too.
You did?
I remember getting called all the names and everybody laughing. I was being embarrassed. There's something my mom always said that made me feel better.
What's that?
You know, whenever someone has a stutter, it's because whatever they're saying is so good, it needs repeating.
That is good. That is legitimately good. Like, that, I don't know if somebody came up with that, or if that's been a saying that people have been using to help kids with this problem for a while now. But whether it's something somebody heard and decided to use, or whether somebody on the crew came up with it all on their own, I'd be more impressed with the latter, obviously. But either way, it was a good choice to put it in. Because that, like, I will probably use that should I ever find myself in a situation where I have to encounter somebody with a similar problem. Because in all honesty, that is a pretty good means of inspiring. But more to the point, you see how it was a much more organic transition to him explaining his own problems. Because again, like the other videos where you see, when I was a child, kids, and it would just kind of go, like, follow that same formula and just kill it. But here, it's organic, and he's like, you want to know something, and he explains it. Kind of like how you somewhat expect a mature adult to explain something to a kid. So it's organic, it keeps the momentum of the video going, and it sounds so much better. So I just want to point out I really like that.
I really like that, but I still don't know if I can become president with the stutter.
Well, what did you tell me earlier? That your goal is to become president of the United States, right?
Yeah, well, it was.
Yeah, well, Joe Biden has a stutter.
He does?
Yes, and if stuttering Joe Biden can become president of the United States, then what's stopping stuttering Stephen from becoming president of Lincoln Middle School? Your campaign is to end bullying, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then don't let the bully win. Go give that speech.
I felt it there. Like, because again, like the other videos, a lot of it was that they didn't know how to adjust their tone quite right. I mean, honestly, I thought personally the problem was more in the writing. Again, not that it was terrible or anything, but it was more in the writing than it was in the acting, and I think most people commented that it was in the acting. But here, that was a well-formed point that was properly executed and explained. So that was good writing, and that was some pretty solid acting, and that was a legitimately good, encouraging scene.
So that's why I think you should vote for me. I'm popular, I'm pretty, plus I'll make sure we have less homework and more movies.
Thank you, Paula.
It's Princess Paula.
Right. Sorry about that. Okay,
I think she was trying to do it, and I'm being super nitpicky with this. I'm gonna be like, if they made this adjustment, it probably wouldn't matter at all. But I would have liked to see just a tad bit more annoyance in her face, because you know that the teachers have to deal with this kid. Like, I'm thinking that this kid is probably not like goody two-shoes when they're around and not. She's just worse when they're not around, and she's just bad enough that it drives everybody bonkers, but not so much where teachers can really find good justification to do certain things about it. And I mean, she's a little worse than that for the sake of the emphasis of the video. But I would have liked to see just a tad bit more noise. But again, honestly, it would not have made a whole much of difference. That's a personal preference thing.
next is Steven. Steven, come on up here and tell everyone why they should vote for you.
Hello. I think you should vote.
It's vote, genius.
Paula, that wasn't very nice.
I'm just saying, how is he gonna beat me when he can't even pronounce the word?
That's enough.
Settle down.
Go ahead, Steven. Finish what you were saying.
How many times are we going to let a bully make us feel bad about ourselves? Or making comments about Gordon's glasses? Or laughing at Sally's jacket? Or calling me dumb and saying I have a stutter? Enough is enough. Not anymore. Not if you vote for me for president.
Why are you clapping? He can't even say things correctly.
He says things just fine for me.
Yeah, I actually like the way Steven talks.
All right, so if you vote for Stephen, raise your hand.
What? You can't be serious.
So it's official. Stephen is the next class president of Lincoln Middle School.
Okay. Really important thing to point out here. Before, in the other video that I saw, things just kind of happened at this hoorah victory moment, right? The stories and videos and movies all essentially follow the same formula. You know, it has the beginning, the middle, the climax, and the end, usually a victory. Which is fine. That's how storytelling works. But the thing is, at the climax victory type portion of the other videos I've seen, most of the time, it's kind of like you have the villain there, and then you have the person who's portraying the problem or the message that they're trying to get through to you, they go through the whole video kind of just having the problem. Then when you get to the end, you have them both facing off, and then stuff just kind of happens around them for the sake of the success. Like, if I remember correctly, they did another one with this guy who was supposed to be nonverbal autistic. And, like, stuff just kind of happened at the point where the manager was trying to get him fired. It's like, oh, cake! Oh, he fixed the thing! Oh, cool. Like, people are walking in, which, I mean, nothing wrong with. Stuff kind of just has to happen at certain times for certain stories to move along. But that just seemed kind of, like, too well placed to me. And that seemed to be the trend with a lot of the other videos I've seen. That just seems to be, like, you get through the story, get to the climax, stuff just happens, and then the person who has the problem has his triumphant moment victory. But here, it's again, I know I kind of don't like using words like organic, because it doesn't really explain what I mean unless you already see or understand what I'm talking about. But if it makes any sense, here it wasn't stuff just happening around this kid. He came up and he had his moment. Like, you saw the process of him persevering through the moment. And then he still speaks regardless of his impediment. So it feels a lot more likely that it would happen to somebody. Therefore, it's a lot more relatable. Like, if a kid who has, you know, nonverbal autism sees that other video I'm talking about, it's a little harder to relate to it. Well, I mean, it's a little bit, just because stuff doesn't usually conveniently happen around them. Again, it's not a huge deal. The message still gets across. But here, a kid sees somebody with a speech impediment like this, and they see him just rise above it and speak regardless of his problem. They can think to themselves, that's something that I can legitimately do. I can go up there and speak regardless of the fact that I stutter. I can go up there and still do this. So the victory moment here just seems a lot more realistic and relatable, and because of that, I like it a lot more than a lot of the other videos I've seen.
Or Steven, raise your hand.
What? You can't be serious.
So it's official. Steven is the next class president of Lincoln Middle School.
You would scared giving that speech. I could never because of my stutter.
Yeah, you can. Just remember, when someone stutters, it just means what they're trying to say is so good, it's worth repeating.
See, and even this scene right here fully emphasizes what I just said, right? They have this scene to just double down and cement on the idea, but in a way that flows with the story, doesn't kill the momentum. So you get to this point, and you know, again, like, another kid seeing this kid would have this feeling. Like, I would not be surprised if other kids saw this scene, looked at this girl just talking to him, and thought to themselves, I feel like this girl, right? I feel like this person, because she sees him, and she's acting like the viewer would if they had the speech impediment, and they've been struggling with it for a while.
I love that.
What are you so scared?
Now, the other thing I really like about the video, it's a little bit not totally on topic, and I don't think this is what they were going for, but regardless, if they were going for it, I would be really impressed. If they weren't going for it, it's still something that you can take out of the video. I saw another video, not Dhar Mann, totally other random video, I can't remember the YouTuber, but he was talking about, like, how he thinks we should change his approach, or the overall approach to bullying. And some of the points I agreed with, some of the points I disagree with, but one of the points I did agree with is that we should teach kids to kind of learn to stand up for themselves in the event of a bully, right? Not just doing the whole thing where it's like, bully, stop bullying, because, I mean, let's be frank, it doesn't really work. And I have other criticisms for how schools do it, and I think that there's a good reason why it rarely works. I don't think it's just because it just some people say it doesn't work, and frankly, the way they do it, I agree that it doesn't work, but I don't think it's just because it factually doesn't work. I think there's a whole but I could make a whole video on that entirely. But the point is that they don't really focus, or like I haven't seen them really focus on teaching kids to stand up for themselves as well. Not that it puts the strain on the kids rather than the adults to do something about it, because the primary person who should be dealing with it is the adult. But ultimately, it might just be more efficient and frankly better for the student if they learn to put up with bullying. Because at some point in their lives, there will be a time when an adult isn't watching over them. But they're still going to be bullies, right? Like, as much as we wish every kid grew out of bullying, unfortunately, that's not always the case. So teaching them to deal with it, A, makes it a lot less likely for the bullies to come up in the first place because they know they can't bully him. B, it gives him the ability to deal with future bullies when he doesn't have people he can immediately go to and have them deal with the bully for him. Because again, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, there will be people in the future that will bully you, and there's not going to always be an adult that can immediately deal with it, as much as I wish I could say there was. But unfortunately, there is a point in time. And then C, it just makes the remaining, and now this is really getting out of the topic of the video, but between these two things, it also makes it a lot easier to point out and deal with the bullies for the adults. So, again, I don't know if like they were going for the whole, we should teach kids to be strong on their own so that bullies just don't have the power against them, but it is a good message, and I think that's something that we really should think about embracing more in schools and other social events for multiple reasons, some of which I just mentioned. But yeah, so they did that, and they're empowering this kid to deal with this. Okay, you know who I'm talking about, the brat. And at this point, we're all calling her a brat, because that's what she is. And the fact that we're all calling her a brat means that the video did its job, right? We're convinced of the villain. We feel sympathy for the kid who is the name is slipping my mind at the moment. It's the name of the good person, the protagonist. Yes, the kid's the protagonist, so we're supposed to support him. We're supposed to feel sympathy for him, and we did that. Now, don't get me wrong. By no means is this video like blockbuster, most amazing, heart-wrenching thing that has ever been made in the history of all of cinema and is meant to change the world of cinematography for all of eternity. But it did what it set out to accomplish to do, and I think it did it a lot better than the last video reviewed. So I wanted to make this video to point out the differences and why I think this video is a lot better than the last. Again, I'm sure nobody's going to see it. Maybe one person, and that person's probably going to log out after like the first 5 minutes of hearing me yap, 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 yap. But if you managed to stay this long, I hope that, you enjoyed it thus far. I suppose that concludes the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked this video. Of course, I'll leave it linked down below if you just want to talk without my yap, 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 yap all over it. And yeah, I guess that's it. So until next time, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that comment section. Make sure to tell me what you liked about my videos, what you don't like about my videos. If you didn't like the reaction videos, I need to know about that. So, all that down in the comment section below. Otherwise, make sure to hit that subscribe button if I haven't scared you off. And that like button. Also, make sure to hit the bell button because YouTube makes things more complicated than it needs to be. And until next time, hear nothing and listen to all. Bye, guys.